it up anyways. Draft is starting.
Alright guys, we are here. We've got a very special guest caster here. Explosive Fury from the Teletubbies will be casting alongside me today. We've had a few good games today. We've had the Future Ancients taking out the first bracket against who was it? I can't remember
Team
who.
Aegis.
Team
Team
Aegis.
Aegis.
That's it. And Danger Zone have moved through as well, so this will be the grand finals now. And there's a bit of cash up as a prize for whoever wins this, and I think whoever doesn't win this still wins money as well, but not quite as much as first place. But anyway, the Future Ancients against Danger Zone, Explosive Fury. Have you got any predictions or any surprising bans here? No surprising bans at all by the looks of it.
The only prediction I could get is, I myself am kind of expecting Danger Zone to win, as I know a couple of their players, but overall, I don't know the teams that much, so it'll all be a bit new to me. We'll see how it pans out.
That's understandable, don't worry about that. But what is understandable is, of course, these bans. We've seen Elder Titan, rather. Definitely a hero that has made a lot of appearance this patch. I remember Fear, I think, was saying how he really loves it when there's a Elder Titan on his team. Actually, it might have been Puppy saying that he just absolutely loves the hero. So obviously the pros are certainly making him come back a bit. Faceless Void, ridiculous hero in that offlane, and you kind of need to draft against that hero a lot, so I guess getting rid of it's good. And Phoenix, not a surprising first pick. I believe you guys have run the Phoenix a couple of times here and there.
Oh, yeah, but to be fair, it's generally a later pick Phoenix, or if you run it with the Void. I mean, the hero is strong, but with all the nerfs and the amounts it's been played, you're kind of getting used to versing it, so when you don't have a huge setup for the Sunray, it's generally not as strong, but
yeah.
I mean, a good Phoenix player is a good Phoenix player, and the hero's always going to do well.
I mean, one thing I like to mention is when you play against a Phoenix, the issue with him is you don't pick him for the egg, obviously, all the time, but there are lots of heroes now that are being popular, the natural Echo Saber carriers, and so that extra attack speed, that extra hit just makes a lot of the difference, and is just pretty hard. I mean, early levels of egg is just not strong at all, really, in terms of dealing with heroes dealing with that, so teams will normally draft around that, but it looks like they've actually secured themselves a natural Echo Saber carrier here, the Slider. Not too sure where he'll be heading this game as of yet. Potentially the offlane, potentially the safe lane, depends how Danger Zone play it, but they're up against a Disruptor, which I think is a pretty good pick against the Slider.
I would agree, but I would like to say the Slider is probably a carry here, because of the Timbersaw coming out from the Future Ancients. Early 2 levels into the Slider ulti with that early blink will give them easy opportunities to actually kill that Timbersaw before the Bloodstone, and if you can slow his Bloodstone down by 3 or 4 minutes, it slows his entire game down a lot.
I definitely agree that Slider is a good way of taking down the Timbersaw, because, as we know, Reactive Armor does give him a lot of survivability. He is very tanky, even before the Bloodstone, so obviously the Minus Armor is going to help that out a lot. They do need something to synergize with that, of course, so we'll see what they pick up here. They've gone ahead and banned the Beastmaster, not too surprising. They could have gone for that for sure, with the attack aura bonus against the Phoenix Egg, which is nice. But they've gone ahead and banned the Sven here. Are you expecting Danger Zone to pick up something like a Sven? Or a Medusa? I mean, you did say you think the Slider is potentially a carry here. Sven not really... I mean, maybe they're just sort of not predicting the bans correctly here, but...
I mean, I would assume that this is probably going to be a Timbersaw mid from the Future Ancients, or possibly offlane. But either way, I think Danger Zone, if they're running the Slider carry, it's going to look for a mid that has decently high damage and can lane that Timbersaw if it does come down to that matchup. So I would probably say it's going to be a ranged hero with a couple of decent nukes. You could maybe see a Puck or a Queen of Pain just combos a bit better with that Phoenix, so they can actually pull out some early game team fights and snowball from there.
I definitely agree. I like the Venge pickup here as well. I mean, just as we were saying earlier, Slider able to burst down this Timbersaw with a lot of damage, a lot of minus armor, but you just swap straight out of there. And another hero being picked into the Venge is obviously the Lifestealer. Swap out the open wounds target, and they're completely free for a bit. Obviously, it's no guarantee that you're going to save their life, or rather, that Vengeful Spirit will survive, but it's certainly a nice pickup against both these heroes. I'm a big fan of it.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I mean, Lifesteal is a great part of this meta. I mean, the
5
Rage has never
seconds
been a
remaining.
bad spell. Giving yourself magic immunity is always insane. And then you've got the Echo Saber, the Armlet buff.
Reserve
Lifesteal
time.
he does way too much work at the moment.
I mean, I'm really liking the lineup from both teams, really. I guess this sort of might confirm here that Slider's going to be going in the offlane with the Lifestealer safe lane, I hope. I'm really hoping that it's not a jungle Lifestealer or something like that we typically see in pub games, which is not always the best. So this game, I hope for their sake, it'll be a offlane Slider with a safe lane farming Lifestealer. Definitely that Echo Saber will be very good this game, and it will synergize pretty well with the minus armor from Slider as well. Probably, potentially both going to get Echo Sabers, which will give them all the damage and all the damage they need to take down this tanky Timbersaw, like you mentioned, even before the Bloodstone.
Yeah. So Slider, I would say, because he's the offlane, I mean, looking at the Disruptor, generally with, I mean, tri-lanes, if you look at a Disruptor pick, the enemy offlane is not going to get much if they do commit 3 heroes to the lane because of the glimpse factor. Like, you just can't enter the lane just in case they have a ward there. So, Slider's probably, maybe just going for a boots of speed into a blink this game and then slowly build into his force staff. He's probably not going to get all that much farm though.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like the Disruptor, just being able to glimpse away the Initiator here, which is of course the Slider, who's just going to have all sorts of trouble, and even the Phoenix, if the Phoenix is in lane against this Disruptor, you Icarus dive away, but if you time it right, the glimpse is going to send you straight back, and that's on cooldown for 40 seconds, whatever it is. So that's just, I think Disruptor's a pretty key pick here, and we'll probably see it pay off a bit. As long as Disruptor's not focused by a danger zone, which I'm not particularly sure if they really want to do that. They obviously can focus him, but I think, I mean, you're going to have this Phoenix, which I assume is going to be rotating around the map, potentially to that mid lane, and Windrunner's not a hero that can easily deal with that damage there from Phoenix. I mean, Windrunner's not going to help you out. And I think they might have to commit potentially Disruptor, who's just probably one of the only heroes. I don't think Venge can really zone out Phoenix rotating in mid too well. That Disruptor's much better at it, so we'll see how they go.
Yeah, so I mean, Phoenix is probably going to spend most of the time, as you said, between the mid and the top lane, just keeping himself close to mid to help out harassing the Windy, and keep himself able to rotate up to that Slider if they do go for the tower dive.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're seeing Phoenix always in the pro game just camping that mid lane. I think the only game I saw where he wasn't camping the mid lane was I think Newbie picked it and literally just sat him in the off lane against the enemy safe lane and just did so much damage. I think it was a Lycan or something. And so I think Phoenix will probably see a good example of why the hero is popular, because that Sunray damage is ridiculous. And they've actually picked this position 5 Witch Doctor here. You are a big fan of the Witch Doctor. How do you think Witch Doctor really sort of fits in this game? Like, why do you think they've picked it?
I mean, in general, I just think the hero is amazing in almost any lineup. It works nicely with the Lifestealer. The cask stun, if you can get it to bounce once, you're going to get plenty of damage for S. Even if it's a Timber offlane, you can stun long enough for the Lifestealer to walk up and start attacking him. If you're able to play really aggressive in the lane, you can get that one level of early Maledict to just get that early kill. And I mean, the other thing is, even if you have a tough laning stage on the Witch Doctor, even with 0 farm, you just sit at the back of a fight with your heal on, and I mean, your team just, as long as they play it nicely and they back out at the right time, they're going to completely outlast the enemy. Because I mean, you're getting about, I think it's 13 health a second or 16 health a second at level 1.
Yeah.
Voodoo, and I mean, as you scale it up, it just even more, and it's just in the early game, it can completely change fights.
Well, yeah, I mean, definitely Danger Zone lacking a little bit of push here. They don't have the Sven where they may have picked earlier, as it was banned, but they've actually gone and picked a Tinker here, which is the push that they may have needed. Obviously, a lot more split push oriented, but potentially could work out really well for him here. And they couldn't pick Slark if they wanted to. Lion was banned. Not that they might have gone for Lion this game if they hadn't got the Witch Doctor. But Witch Doctor, I think you'll probably be happy to see that one picked up. But TA was actually banned as well. So I think that I think the Tinker will be interesting to see here. We've seen Tinker very
Reserve
situationally picked up nowadays in the pro meta, a lot more in pub games, that's for sure. I'm not a fan of playing against Tinker, but I mean this game, the Future Ancients do need some sort of position 1, I'm assuming. Potentially not, potentially an offlaner. It really depends how they run this Windrunner, or the Timbersaw rather. I mean, if it's traditional, then it will be a mid Windrunner with the Timbersaw offlane, but I'm probably assuming it could even be a safe lane Windrunner here.
Yeah, I would assume it's the mid-windy. I mean, it's a very strong safe laner in the sense that you completely slaughter the lane.
Yeah.
But when you get into the mid game, if you don't manage to kill their carry in mid at least 2 or 3 times with that windy, you slowly fall behind.
Yeah.
Like he gets to that point where all he's doing every fight is targeting one person. However, I do love the Tinker pickup from Danger Zone. As I said earlier, it gives them the magic damage, like they wanted a magic damage nuker mid. The Tinker gives them that, gives them great combo with the egg, like you chuck a March down while Phoenix's egg, and they either kill it, and they take a crap ton of damage, or they just back out. And also, when you look at the Future Ancients lineup, their only push power really is the Windrunner. So if you've got a Rocket spam and a March spam there, he does not have the HP to survive.
Thirty seconds to battle.
We're back now. Not sure what's going to happen with the cameraman. Hopefully it's still how it was, but it looks like Disruptor here. He's going to have the high ground advantage, but if they spot him out, if they trap him in, he is going to use the kinetic field here, but he might be taken down. He's trapped in the trees. He looks like he will be first blooded, but there's a bit of a trade here because the rune did go the way of Windrunner, and they are going to be able to zone out Ursa here, but I mean, that's just... I mean, does that trade really go in the way of the Future Ancients?
Definitely not. Okay, so with the new runes, how they don't give 100 XP anymore, it's like, I mean, it doesn't actually give you a big lane advantage. All it gives you is that healing salve. And I mean, the thing is, with supports nowadays, so many of them are hanging around mid. You can generally get one of them to pull you a healing salve anyway. So I mean, it's definitely better to get a first blood than the rune.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to result in. I mean, it's 1 kill. I think Witch Doctor actually was the one to pick it up, so, I mean, it's not a real game changer or anything like that, but it certainly is a good trade for him. But you were right. I mean, look at this top lane. Slider's not going to be able to survive here. He's in the kinetic field here. Do they have enough damage to take him down? The lockdown from Vengeful Spirit's already been used, but it might be off cooldown. They might not need it here. They just need a bit more damage. Are they going to dive? Looks like he's going to escape. Well, that was pretty bad for him. But he'll be okay.
He got a nice crush at the start of that, actually hitting the Venge and the Ursa. If he hadn't managed to catch the Venge in that, probably have died. Only getting the salve off on 40 HP.
Similar things happening down bottom. The open wounds and damage from Phoenix taking down that tanky Timbersaw, who was pretty tanky right there, but they had all the damage they needed there. But yeah, I mean, Slider here is going to be hard to take down, but he's also going to be having a rough time in terms of last hits. If you bring up last hits, we're probably guessing he's got 0. He has got 0, but then again, most of the game, in fact, over half of the heroes in the game right now have 0 last hits. Not that that really matters, but it's he shouldn't feel too bad.
Yeah, so I mean, both of the offlaners having a really tough time here. However, the Timbersaw is going to be slightly happy. I mean, when they went for that kill, they did actually manage to completely pushed the lane out. I mean, they dived for it, so the creeps were attacking them. The Phoenix was hurting the creeps with the Sunray. Timber is about to get level 3, whereas this Slardar, the lane's almost at the Dyer's tower, and from now on, I mean, with that ward for the Radiant, the supports can do pretty much whatever they want and just walk back when the Slardar runs up.
I mean, exactly. I think they noticed this. I think this is why Phoenix here is pulling the lane. He's really going to need to do it, but at the same time, when the Wither was pulling on it, it allows the future Ancients to rotate their supports, and it looks like Vengeful Spirit's heading mid, potentially for something here. I don't think... I think he may have been spotted out, though, by that ward. So, may not lead to a kill here if Tinker plays it safe. He's taken a lot of harass, though.
Yeah, so I mean, they did see him, we saw him ping them out, but I mean, Tinker's got the healing salve, he's just got his bottle coming in. Actually, a nice play by the Windy getting that salve cancel. We've got both supports sitting on the high ground. If this gank doesn't work, it's going to be a lot of wasted time for them.
I mean, it is going to chew through the bottle charges of Tinker, though. No mana left for Windrunner, though. Potentially not enough to get anything off. She's got the haste rune ready. They're going to dive behind the tower with the kinetic field here. Tinker, he's just going to beam up, though, so they can't hit him. This is a really, really risky dive from Vengeful Spirit. He's taking so much damage. She goes down. Tinker survives. They're chasing after him. Does he have the cask available? Looks like he may in just a few seconds here. The Glimpse, they're going to send Phoenix straight back. No damage to follow up on the Maledict here. And looks like Witch Doctor could actually be going a little bit too far here. Damage is going to stack up on Windrunner there with the Catapult helping out with a lot there. Looks like she could even go down from the Maledict. Fairy Fire's there, she doesn't go down. It's only level 1 Maledict here. And she needs a few more hits, but I don't think the creeps will be able to catch up to her. The stun from Venge, great wrap around there.
And in all of that mess, the Dire Courier ran into the middle tower and died after giving Windrunner her boots, but free courier kill at least for the Radiant there.
I think, was that potential? Did he buy a courier after that courier died? I could be wrong. I don't think he did. I thought I saw it in quick buy there for a second. Thought he'd bought a new courier. But no, that's a great little pickup there. It looks like Lifestealer is just, I mean, you can just see from the amount of damage that he does with the Feast and the open wounds on Timbersaw. It's just, he's able to, I mean, he's not going to show a lot of dominance in lane here, considering the fact that he is low. But I think this is not too bad of a matchup for Lifestealer here. He's actually going to rage for this, just to scare him off. Not really sure what happened there.
I think he was just looking to get some HP back with the Feast without losing it again when he uses the Timber Chain and the Whirling Death.
I mean, this is where the Phoenix probably looks to come in and harass. The open wounds has been used. They have the damage from Sunray. Do they have anything to lock him down where they do? The cast comes in. Do they have anything else to slow him down? It looks like the open wounds has run out a long time ago. The dive from Phoenix here, going to bring him fairly low. Maledict Poison might even take him down. I doubt it though with your active armor regen. And he'll probably be fine here, so he's going to be okay. Still a level 1 Maledict Poison though. I mean, you are known to sort of not even level the Maledict Poison at all, but I mean, is this a good game for Maledict?
I generally would say it's quite a nice game. I mean, when you're running a tri-lane, I do like it when you're just versing the solo person. It means if they do come to lane, it gives you a lot more kill potential. I mean, I would say generally in the games that I play the Witch Doctor, I'm a complete lane support, and we have a roamer that doesn't really come to lane at all. So it's generally a 2v1 lane, and the heal is always really nice for keeping my own HP up. But I mean, in this game, they've got the Timbersaw. If he goes for a second point in Maledict, it's going to do a lot of damage to this Timber if they can do the damage afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about how they sort of go about this. If he really decides to max it or not. I'm assuming he won't, just because it's just so unpopular to do that. So it looks like he's probably keen to get level 4 here, and they've gone very aggressive on Timbersaw here. Do they have the open wounds? They do. They just need to get in range for it, or rather, it's not ready. They don't have it. Maybe he doesn't have mana for it. I can't see. He doesn't have mana for it.
5 mana off, but there you go. You see the Maledict coming out because it was the first thing used. All the damage after it made the Maledict do even more. So I mean, that's where it's really useful.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great little setup there, and even at level 1, that still adds up, like you said. But, I mean, they are trading for this off lane. It looks like Slider is forced to go to the jungle, but I can't see if he even has an iron. Does he has an iron talon, doesn't he? He does. Okay, so that's good.
Yes, he does.
And it looks like he's even got himself a ring of protection on the way, so he's going to be able to jungle fairly efficiently from this point on, which is great for him because this offlane is not looking good for him, and it looks like this will mean free farm for Ursa, who is currently leading the last hits by about 7 rather. So I mean, yeah.
One thing I would love to see come out of the Ursa here, he's got enough money for the Morbid Mask. So normally what you see in Ursa, he gets his Morbid Mask, he goes Roshan. I think the better play here would actually to be for the Ursa to just jungle for the next 4 or 5 minutes. While his Disruptor are level 3 and the Venge is only level 3, they are really going to need those ultis if they're going to take big team fights here. So after this rotation on mid, I think the Disruptor Revenge should start farming top while the Ursa moves into the jungle, giving them a bit of space.
I'd have to say Disruptor would benefit so much here, but it looks like this rotation mid could be successful if they just don't run into this March machines. He is going to run south here. They will see him run south as well. They do have vision. Is there any follow-up here? They do have the Vengeful Spirit and the Disruptor, but this is an Invis rune being bottled up here if he gets it off. But it looks like potentially a bit of miscommunication here. Vengeful Spirit running north here, and Witch Doctor a little bit singled out, but it looks like the entire team here of Danger Zone in mid at the moment, and this is just going to be... oh, he's actually dyed the water here.
Oh no. It's all dried up.
Exactly. Not looking too good for the poor fish and the frogs that live in the river of Dota here. So unfortunate for them, but for the players it'll still remain the same. And not only this, they've got it down a nice ward in mid here, which looks like it may have gone unseen potentially. Yeah, so that sentry is not going to be in range.
I believe they saw them place it though. That's why they put the sentry here. So they saw they saw the Disruptor and Venge finish their rotation earlier, so they figured they'd have put a ward near mid, but they actually put it down before they did the whole wraparound. So it's been there for a minute and a half now.
Oh, they're going aggressive on Ursa here. They're doing a lot of damage. He is going to use his ultimate though. He's taking a lot less damage. Slider does have the stun available. Do they have any more follow-up? They do have the Maledict damage, which again gets the kill at the end. The kinetic field and the rotation from Disruptor a little bit late. But they need something else here because it looks like the aggressive ward's been placed. It did go unseen, I believe, not pinged. So they want to do something here. Potentially look to push this tower afterwards. Slider does have the sprint available. He doesn't have blink though. So he can't go too aggressive here. They do have vision of them though with the ward and with the minus armor here. But I think this will be put to sleep with the rotation from Ursa.
Seems the Oz scene is doing great though, as we have our Philippines followers. GoBus is watching the stream.
Oh, very good. Yeah, love a good shout out. I don't have any shout outs at the moment, unfortunately. Probably just a shout out to AMD, I'd have to say. That's probably the only one I can think of. Again, this tournament is brought to you by AMD, guys. They are the ones who made this actually happen. And these players are going to be getting prize money, and AMD are the ones they should thank for it. Oh, that's a nice glimpse on top lane onto Slider here. He's going to get bursted down a fair bit by the Ursa. He does have the stun available. Do they have anything else to catch him out? They do have the damage from the Disruptor here, but that actually didn't lead to a kill, and he's going to be fine. He did he got kinetic fielded, he got glimpsed, but they didn't have all the damage they needed.
Yeah, so one thing I would like to point out there, it's kind of unfortunate that Ursa's done this, but he's only gone 1 point in overpower. So I mean, it is a nice build if you're just like spending the whole game farming. If you do move into the jungle and just sit there for 5 minutes while you farm up your blink, your Mask of Madness. But I would say in this lineup with the Disruptor, the Disruptor and the Venge offer very low damage, so extra couple of points into that overpower gives you the extra attacks, which does actually add up the damage a lot more than putting the extra points in Fury Swipes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming he'll start skilling that now, which is probably the play. I think that's probably what he's missing, especially if he wants to go Roshan at some point. He's going to need that. Oh, they're doing a lot of damage to Ursa here though, but I don't think they can follow up with this. The kinetic field is going to just sort of put that to rest, and they do get the tower out of it, which is a great trade for the future Ancients. They are 6-1 at the moment, well, they are behind by 5 kills here, so that tower is definitely going to help them, even, I mean, considering the fact that they've lost tier 1 mid.
Yeah, so while that was all happening, Tinker was just marching mid with the Arcane Rune and his rearm, and the creeps just slowly pushed it while the Windrunner wasn't there.
Yeah, and this is the issue now. This is the stage where it's past. It's the point where Tinker is probably going to have his blink pretty soon. He's got his BTs, and so he's just going to be able to split push. And I mean, the reason why Tinker may not be the greatest hero out there is because before he gets the BTs, he's just not mobile at all. He is just the easiest gank of your life, and the issue is now he's just going to be an absolute pain to the Future Ancients. He's going to be able to rotate all over the map. Those tier 1s on the Future Ancients here are going to be looking pretty delicious for Tinker at this point. But yeah, I mean, like you said, Disruptor here would benefit a fair bit from level 6. Still hasn't got it yet, and it looks like he is going to... I'm not sure what he's doing here. He's not really stacking it. He's just passing by the camp. But that is a stack that someone needs to take. Potentially, I mean, is this a stack that... who takes this stack here in the jungle?
I would assume it's there for the Timbersaw, but I did notice this about a minute ago. He has actually gone 4 points into reactive armor. So until he's hitting level 9 or 10, he's not actually going to have huge damage. I mean, other than his Chakram, his Timber Chain and Willing Death aren't going to be doing all that much.
Oh, but at the same time, he could get a level out of this because they are going into Lifestealer here. Do they have any follow-up? It looks like he is being a little bit too aggressive, potentially giving it away, but Lifestealer, once he re-engages to that creep wave, they do spot out the Windrunner here. Smoke's broken for Disruptor. He's pinging, and his team is coming, but will he go a little too far? He does have the Rage, but he's been stunned up here. He is going to be Timber Chained as well, and he goes down. The Rage is there, but it's not enough. Physical damage is something this Lifestealer cannot deal with, and it looks like they might even try and push the tower out of this. TP from Tinker, though, will make it very hard to push into, considering in fact he has level 4 March. They will look to do something here. The blink forward from Ursa. So Ursa has revealed his blink dagger now. If they did see that, and they will see it because they have vision of Slider here. They would potentially want to go on this. This cast does catch out 2 heroes here. There's a lot of follow-up damage that has to be had here. The stun onto Slider though is going to put that to sleep though. They do stun him up and they do a lot of damage. They take him down. Timbersaw. That's a lot of damage.
Yeah, so I mean, that was a great shackle by the Windy. The Slider was about to get in range for the 2-man crush, but he shackled him to the creep. Pure damage coming out from Timbersaw just ate through that Slider there.
That was a great trade for the Future Ancients. They got the Lifestealer earlier, they got the Slider, and they didn't lose really anything, I think. Maybe lost, you know, some ultimates or something, Ursa's ult, but oh, that's a great job there by the Phoenix, taking out 2 heroes on that damage there. No kills, but he's done a lot of damage here, and it looks like Disruptor could even be in trouble here if he gets a rocket up to him. And it's a bit of an awkward fight here. Tinker is actually not going to get caught in that kinetic field, but he can't run uphill. If he does, he's in a lot of danger. And it looks like that fight, they did protect their tier 1 though. I think that was
so they did save the tower. The one thing that did kind of go wrong, I mean, the Naix got his rage off at the very start of that fight, but instead of just instantly thinking, oh, I'm going to infest into a creep, wait for the Phoenix to get egg, and then jump back out and try surviving with the armlet, he actually just tried running away and slowly got brought down at the end there. I mean, at the start. Made the fight very difficult for DZ to take.
It's also unfortunate for Slider. He could be in a little bit of danger. It looks like he won't be, and that's a lot of damage from Tinker. That Arcane Rune is doing wonders for him currently. He's able to spam out these rockets even more. It looks like he's just going to use the Marching Machines here. I think Tinker's just doing a fair bit of work here. The damage he's putting in these fights is making it a lot harder for the Future Ancients to actually take these fights. But this stack here is being eyed by somebody for sure. Timbersaw looks like he's heading over to it, potentially. He's soul ringed. Looks like he will be the one to take it.
Timber's going to look for a lot of damage here. Fortunately, he's probably actually going to run out of mana before he kills it all. He didn't drop his point booster or his arcane boots before soul ringing, so it's going to be, we'll see. But it's going to be a nice influx of gold for him, getting him that bloodstone much earlier.
And I mean, like you said, they didn't really take down too much of this Timbersaw early on. They did kill him down bottom. I think he got second blooded, and I think they may have killed him once or twice more. Probably only once. He does have 2 deaths, so they didn't pressure him as much as they maybe had liked to, and I think that's just, yeah, probably because Tinker was under so much pressure in the mid lane. But
so I mean, a lot of the time that does happen with a Tinker. Lanes go a bit passive, one team's trying to gank the Tinker, the other team's trying to keep him alive. It's similar to an Alki game, just a lot of stacking, very few kills in the early game, unless ganks go really like dive a lot. But yeah. I mean, we've got the Ursa blink up, we've almost got the Timber Bloodstone coming in, we've got the blink up on the Tinker, so in the next couple of minutes we're almost definitely going to see some pushes coming out from these teams, trying to take some smoke fights into towers. I mean, Slardar's 100 gold off his blink as well, so hopefully some exciting stuff coming up in the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, he'll be keen to do that. This camp is certainly going to help him out with it. But yeah, I mean, at this point, you've got a net worth lead of about 3,000 the way of Danger Zone. So is this where they start sort of... I mean, they can't really go Roche here, I don't think. Can they really go Roche against this? I mean, Ursa certainly probably thinking about Roche himself. He does... I mean, he could probably go in there uncontested, I think. Considering the fact that Future Ancients have fairly good jungling lineup. It's not too obvious. Oh, they go on the Timbersaw here. The minus armor doing a lot of work here. Windrunner sort of trying to save there, but it looks like Windrunner's probably going to have to blink away. Yeah, it's going to be fine there, but that was a lot of damage very quick, and that was 470 gold going the way of Danger Zone, adding to their net worth lead.
Yeah, so that was a great rotation by Danger Zone. But I mean, as you said, I do actually think the Radiant should be looking towards a Roshan here. So I mean, a smoke towards the bottom tower with a Nayax infested in the Slardar who's recently got his blink. You get one pick on the Ursa, the Windy, or the Timber. You take the tower and then you just walk into Roshan. I mean, as long as the Disruptor uses his ulti in the fight, or you don't have to use your egg, you should be pretty safe in the pit. As long as, like, you just leave the Slardar and the Nayax hitting it, and everyone else outside, and they should be able to take the fight with the March and egg.
I mean, it's absolutely textbook stuff what you've just said, but will it come to play here? It's what the dream is with this lineup. Every time you pick a Lifestealer and, you know, something like an Initiator like this Slardar here, it's going to do a lot of work. And I mean, they're going to try and pressure mid potentially. I mean, I'm not really sure what the Future Ancients need to do next, because they are sort of looking towards Roshan here. They are looking towards farming those Ancients. But Ursa will probably... I mean, I think they're going to know he's in here. They'll probably be considering it, considering it is an Ursa they're dealing with, and he has got the Morbid Mask, like you mentioned. And he's going to take... I mean, they're not really contesting it at this point, are they?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they actually know it. They did a scan out here, down by the bottom tier 1 tower, so yeah. I think they actually thought that TFA was going for the smoke play. But I mean, that's the Roshan going the way of the Dire.
That's a good pick off for him. Oh, mid lane, not looking good for Witch Doctor, who gets a lot of damage put on him by the Windrunner here. And Tinker rather, he is going to be fine. He's going to be able to defend this tower potentially by himself, and to give time for Witch Doctor to come back alive. They are looking to take down this Phoenix here, but I mean, Tinker's everywhere at this point. He's doing a lot of work at just sort of controlling where the Future Ancients need to be, but they are going to take down this tower. I mean, I'm pretty sure they will. Do they have fort? Looks like they do. Oh,
Disruptor going down on the high ground. He did drop his ulti as well. The Rage is down on the Lifestealer. Ursa's going to eat through him.
No, there's nothing he can do about that. Tinker, though, he wants to TP away, but do they have the swap? Oh, they don't. They use the swap, but I think it potentially a misclick.
Yeah, so I think what happened just there is Timbersaw whirling death, and because the trees disappeared, the Timbersaw walked onto like the same square as the Tinker, so the Venge who was clicking the swap actually swapped the Timber instead of the Tinker.
No, they have a lot of damage here. Slardar, he's pretty low, he gets a nice stun, catching out 2 heroes, but he can be shackled to the catapult, so they haven't even taken him down. The Phoenix getting down this Timbersaw. It's a nice egg from Phoenix, but it's not going to catch out too much here. Windrunner's going to be forced to run into the jungle here, but Slardar, he is taking a lot of damage. He gets taken down. That's a lot of damage from Ursa there. He's hitting a lot harder than we might even expect. This is a medallion buff onto him, so he's going to be pretty squishy if they can get up to him. This is a nice rocket though from Tinker, actually taking down the Ursa. I think that may have been some Maledict damage there coming into play, but that was pretty close for Windrunner as well. Lucky to escape there, I think.
Yeah, so I mean, really well played by DZ there, holding their positioning, waiting for TFA to dive slightly too far, and just slowly chasing them down with all their ranged spells.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think of this medallion pickup for Witch Doctor? Because I'm currently a big fan of it. I do think it's something to add to the minus armor they have from Slardar, and it's just going to add to the fact that they have very tanky cores to deal with this game with the Ursa and the Timbersaw.
Yeah, I mean, I would generally say it's not the greatest item, but this Witch Doctor had an amazing start. He got that, oh, actually, we've got a fight happening at bottom
we do.
first.
Look at that damage.
Slido going down to the Nax.
Ursa's actually doing a lot more damage than we might think, but his ult's run out, and he actually gets taken down here. Lifestealer is leading the charge. He is shackled up to the tree here. Windrunner needs a couple more hits on her, but she's going to be fine. That's a killing spree for Lords here on the Phoenix. And this could even transition, and by even I mean definitely transition into a tower here. Lifestealer is not able to get that last hit, but that's fine. Not getting the deny there, unlucky for Windrunner, but yeah, that was a great trade there for Danger Zone, I think.
Yeah, great trade. And I mean, as I was saying, the Medallion, I do love it this game. He got the Blightstone early for taking out that Timber armor, and the Medallion plus the Slider ulti on any target with a Death Ward is going to eat through them.
Actually, Tinker looks like he could be in a bit of danger. The miss rate, though, from the laser, making it a little bit hard to take down. But that was pretty dangerous for him. Does he? I mean, he does have the blink, but it's risky plays there. But again, he is just going to slow down the, put pressure on the Timbersaw. And actually, he's going aggressive onto Windrunner, who gets bursted down. Great pick-off. And this could even sort of free up the map here, because they do want to do some sort of pushing at some point, I'm assuming. It'd be nice for them to get something else here. They could even look to picking up top. This is a lone disruptor here at this point. And they are slowly rotating in. This is a smoke here from Witch Doctor here, actually an Invis rune rather, so it's not even going to be detected. Do they need the Death Ward? Probably not, but it's still fine to use it. And they take him down. And this is the tower they need.
And a nice kill secure there by Witch Doctor.
I mean, Ursa
putting down the Death Ward.
Lifestealer, but isn't going to be enough. Look, they're going to go back onto him. A nice swap from Vengeful Spirit, potentially sacrificing her life for this. Looks like she will be taken down here. Ursa, he's thinking about re-engaging. They have the Rage available. Timbersaw is actually going to get slowed up here. The Maledict Poison, do they have anything to add on to it? They do have a lot of damage. Armlet does a lot of damage to Phoenix Sunray, taking down very low. The Maledict Poison does finish him off here. There's a nice shackle, but do they have anything else to follow up? It looks like they don't. This is aggressive blinks here. Tinker taking down the Windrunner. Excellent play there. That's a lot of burst damage you don't expect. And did they lose anything? I don't think they did.
They didn't lose anything there. I mean, you can't even say they used ultis. Nax still has some Fist. The Phoenix still has Egg. I mean, all the other ultis on their team don't really matter. They used very little and got a great trade out of it.
Oh, they'll be happy with that, and they might even look to doing to sort of finish off more down this bottom lane here. It's harder for them now that the heroes of the Feature Range are sort of coming alive. That's a great ward from Phoenix, but do they have any way of pushing this? I don't think they do, and it's actually just going to potentially rotate into the jungle, potentially farm this stack as well. Lifesteal would be keen to get some of that, but he might not even be able to take it.
And we see a Solar Crest picked up on the Witch Doctor. So this was possibly the plan all along. It's amazing against Ursa, giving that mischance.
Yeah, it certainly is, and it's also just amazing that minus 10 armor is no joke, and I mean, I normally like picking up Medallion on lots of heroes in general anyway, but especially this game. Oh, this is a great laser beam from Ursa, but the Earthshock taking him down. That was very close there. And do they have Glimpse available? They use the smoke. Disruptor's not going to be caught in it, but do they have anything to take him out? Looks like they will get the Kinetic Field off. Does he have his Static Storm? He does, but it's doing a lot of damage. He does catch out Witch Doctor though, who's going to Glimmer Cape up. He's going to be okay for a bit here. Phoenix has used Icarus Dive, but does the Phoenix have Egg? Looks like it does. Might consider using it here. Might have to use it. And doesn't you get to use it in time? This is Lifestealer all by himself here, trying to get some damage off. Timbersaw just needs to latch his way, does get taken down just in time. Ursa wants to go aggressive on the Lifestealer here. The Shackle not landing. They actually did take down the Witch Doctor as well, which is unfortunate for him in the end. Oh, that's a lot of damage on Lifesteal. They take him down. That's a 5-man wipe.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great fight for TFA. They didn't get the Disruptor ulti down insanely early before he got stunned by the cast, but in the end he got it perfectly on all 3 heroes. And they managed to chase down everyone.
I mean, this is a 2.5k gold swing. It's still fairly, not heavily in favour of Danger Zone. I mean, it is about 9k net worth lead to them, so they're certainly not under too much danger, but of course the more fights they lose, the more gold they give away, and this is a tier 2 tower, not looking like it can be saved too easily, and Slider may have been a little bit too aggressive, but it looks like his team's coming in. This could even be a safe tower here. Nice stun on the Witch Doctor here, but it's not going to lead to too much. They want to potentially get a pick here, but I don't think they can. And that's a good escape there from the Future Ancients, but they didn't get the tower in the end. I mean, is this... Who's going to take this Ancient stack on the Future Ancients? I mean, someone probably should take it.
I'm assuming it's there for Ursa, but he doesn't have a Mask of Madness, and even if he did, that's a... I mean, it's... Oh, it is only a one... it's a 2-stack there, so there's three Ancient camps. I mean, even an Ursa is going to struggle to take that, let alone quickly, so... I don't know, we'll see what happens there.
Well, I mean, someone will be thinking about it for sure, and this is going to be a lot of pressure being put here from the danger zone. They want to pressure the mid by the looks of it, or at least wait until someone overextends. Timbersaw, though, not the easiest target to burst down. I guess they do have a lot to deal with him. I think that I keep bringing back to this medallion pickup, but I think it's absolutely fantastic. Now being a Solar Crest is crazy, and they have even more minus armor with a Desolator being picked up for Lifestealer, which is just a lot here. And Tinker, now he's just doing Tinker things. He's going to split push bottom. He does have the Blink Dagger, and he actually dodged a Shackle there from the Windrunner, so he's safe to do this now, and I think there's not much I can do. And Lifesteal actually raging for this tower, but he could be in a lot of danger here. Are they going to be able to catch him out? This is a lot of damage here onto Ursa, who's BKB'd up, but he actually still goes down. He doesn't have Aegis Wall or anything like that, so he's down for 50 seconds. Do they need him to back it up, though? They do have the Static Storm onto Phoenix, who's very low. He does get the egg off right in time there. Really lucky for him. And Slider is very low. Do they have anything to take him down? They do have the Shackle there. And Lifestealer is going very aggressive here. He does take down the Venge. They want to go on to the Windrunner here, but have nothing to take him down. Disruptor, I'm missing that. T-Tours. They're going on to Timbersaw, who's very low, but he does port away just in time. And Disruptor, though, did go down in the end. And the kill was awarded to the Lifestealer.
Yes. I mean, the Timbersaw actually almost dying there. He obviously didn't double tap his TP. He TP'd to one of the little buildings in the base, and the burn from Phoenix actually brought him down to 40 health. So lucky for his regen.
Well, I mean, it is pretty lucky for him. And I mean, they want to defend, but that's a tier 2 top rather, taken down. This is great, looking good here for Danger Zone. Their net worth has pushed back up to 10,000. I mean, this is not the highest net worth they had all game, but it certainly is looking healthy for them. They can easily, I mean, they don't have any pickoffs now. If they get a pickoff though, I think that they might even be able to comfortably push high ground with Lifestealer.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a blink now coming out from Lifestealer as well. So any stun, I mean, they do only have the Witch Doctor or the Slider initiation, but either of them on any hero on TFA, and they are going to get eaten by this Lifestealer.
And especially if he secures his double damage, looks like he is eyeing it up. He has the Blink Dagger available. It's going to be taken nice and quickly. And Roshan actually up. I'm
straight into Roshan.
That they may have actually just spotted him just in time as well. I'm not sure how long he's been up for, but I mean, this is going to be contested by the Future Ancients though, for sure. We'll have a look at net worth though, just quickly to see whereabouts it's at. Yeah, so Lifestealer is leading by about 2.5k over the Ursa here, so it's hard to take him down. And Tinker, obviously, highest net worth. I mean, the advantage is fairly steep in terms of cause here, but it can easily change in an instant.
Yeah, so another great pickup here by the Tinker actually, and Ags up on him. So the second this Ursa's BKB is down, he's going to be hit by every laser of this Tinker, and he's just not going to be able to dish out the damage that TFA needs.
I mean, I think they have the damage to take him down anyway when he has BKB. Oh, this is Windrunner missing the power shot. The Shackle doesn't land when he creeps here. Tinker though, he could be another threat. Looks like he is. They Static Storm for it. They have a lot of damage here. He's taking a lot of it, but he does go down in the end. Nice little pick off there.
I mean, that's how they need to do it. They need to catch these scrappy fights. They need to catch anyone out of position. Force DZ to play on the back foot for the fight and go for free picks like that.
That kill just got him 1,500 gold. That was the gold change just for that. And I mean, that's just how it works. And Windrunner on a killing spree now. I mean, she's going to be building up a little bit of net worth here, but that's the kill she needs. The closing the gap slowly. 4.5k the gold advantage. Or 2.5k rather, Tinker over the Windrunner, but I mean, if Windrunner gets another kill like that, it could easily be put on a flip side.
Yeah,
I think.
So I mean, Windy building into that BKB now as well. It's going to be really good for him against the Phoenix, against the Tinker, but I'm just worried that they are going to be lacking this damage if they don't manage to find fights where it's like a 4v2 or a 5v2 at the start.
I mean, they are looking to pressure this top lane here. Potentially, they could easily get a pick off with the glimpse, but it's dangerous. They are sort of... I mean, Slider's getting the bounty rune, so he's not going to be there if they initiate right now, but he does have 4 staff available now, so he's going to be very fast. This fight has started here. They go straight onto Timbersaw. Do they have the minus armor available? They just have the Desolator. It's not going to be enough. Lifestealer's going to be sort of kited around here by this Timbersaw, but Disruptor's taking so much damage. He doesn't get the Static Storm off onto the Slider. Slider taking him down. This Ursa's doing a fair bit of damage though. Do they have the healing from the Phoenix? They do. But Ursa's, he's stunned up anyway. The Medallion's not going to help. And he does go down. And this is Aegis, the Immortal, being popped into Lifestealer. He wants to go aggressive here, but it could be in a bit potential. I mean, they don't really have much to take him down here. The open wounds on the Timber, though, is not going to lead to much. Oh, this is a nice TP in from Tinker, though. Just going straight onto that laser bouncing. Timbersaw taken down. This is 2 buybacks. Ursa and Windrunner want to try and defend this. Do they have the power to do it? They are going aggressive here. Windrunner does get open wounds up. She does have Windrun though, missing a lot of attacks, but she gets taken down as well. And that's 2 buybacks completely wasted. Well, not wasted, but rather completely used up.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, so I mean, the buybacks, I want to say they were needed, but even with them, after taking down that Lifestealer Aegis, they had nothing to follow it up with. And I mean, this is going to be at least 1 Rex going down here.
Yeah, I mean, 15k now with the net worth. Oh, they go straight on the Disruptor. 3 hits is all it takes. And they take him down. Vengeful Spirit, potentially. I mean, she does have swap, but does she really want to be there? 4 staffs available, though. And Tinker, this is the advantage of Tinker. He's just going to TP straight back in. Do they have any way of stopping him? This is, Maledict Poison stacking up really well there with Tinker. And I don't think he really wants to use all of his mana too quickly. He is just going to be able to TP back and port back in, though.
Dire's top barracks has fallen.
Yeah, so we'll see what Danger Zone does now. I think they can go for the mid-Rex, or at least the mid-tower. They know there's no Windy, they know there's no Ursa. They do have this Deso, so they're going to eat it pretty fast. Honda's next goes towards it.
Popping a lot of damage here. Openwood's just going to run out here, though. So there's no way, really, that Timbersaw is going to be in any real danger here. But, I mean, Lifestealer is just playing so aggressive here, and this is just the fact that he's asserting this dominance now. And I don't know if there's too much that the Future Ancients can do until everyone is alive. They do have the smoke available though.
Do have smoke.
And they do have Static Storm, and they will drop it. That's a great Static Storm, taking out the Lifestealer and the Slider inside of it. Looks like they both go down. No Aegis available now. And this is this is Witch Doctor going down as well. I didn't expect that to happen. And Phoenix is under fire here. They need to predict where he goes. They do see him run north. He is going to TP behind the tree. It's a nice play. Do they have the swap available? Oh, the Glimpse just gets off in time. And they do have the kinetic field. This is Phoenix going down as well. And really, really successful defense.
Yeah, that was an amazing, a great idea to do the smoke. I mean, they did get spotted just as it popped on the edge, but Disruptor still managed to get the ulti before Nax raged, before the Slider blinked away. And, I mean, it's a great fight for them. They did only lose the 1 Rax. They can look to pressure from this. Maybe force a buyback, but I'd probably say it's just a tier 2 tower here and then back to a bit more farming.
I mean, one thing I like being picked up from Venge here is this Medallion. I mean, it's late into the game, doesn't really make a huge difference, it's hard to say, but this Medallion is going to be excellent for Venge because, I mean, I'm assuming you're thinking the same thing as me, because they have all this minus armor, and a lot of it, rather 7 of it, is going to be completely undone by the Medallion buff, but that's the disadvantage though, it's only going to be on 1 hero at a time, so Desolator is a great pickup against that. But yeah, I mean, the Future Ancients, do they just need to keep taking down the entire team of Danger Zone? I mean, 2 more team wipes would probably get them convincingly back into this. But they are a Rax down, and they're potentially another Rax down soon if get another pick off on the side of Danger Zone.
Yeah, so I mean, they are in a really tough position right now, especially against the Tinker. I mean, the plan for them at the moment should be try push out the waves, get a nice smoke where you catch the Nax, catch the Slider, or even just wait in a lane for the Tinker, catch out the Tinker, then go for the smoke play while the others have backed out and are farming. And you just have to keep doing that. I mean, once they run out of smokes, they run out of smokes, and they have to maybe pick up a defensive gem just so they can make sure they hold the map vision. I mean, That's the huge thing on defense. If you don't have the vision and the other team does, you're never going to make the comeback. So if they could get a gem, get a couple of smokes, and just keep stalling out the game, getting a pick here and there, getting damage on a tier 1, tier 2 tower without dying, I mean, that's the big thing. They have to make sure they don't die here.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. And if they can get the vision, I mean, one thing that they sort of have tried to do here is try and put down a sentry, but it's actually out of range. And it's really unlucky because...
It's like less than a millimeter.
Yeah, and look, that's a really nice ward from Danger Zone because it's just going to spot out that entire area there. And it's going to spot out any sort of tricks that they try and play from this sort of area. Maybe a blink in or something is going to be completely spotted out by that ward.
Yeah.
And unless they deward that, it could be very hard to defend the mid lane if they decide to push mid. I mean, they could decide to push bot at some point, but mid's looking a lot easier than it normally would be with 2 lanes completely unpushed.
I mean, we do see Venge making the plays. He's got the river vial, so they're going to look to make it to the river at some point this game and try it out again.
I mean, that may be what they need here to get back into this game. The dry river vial that we saw earlier, really, I don't know how much difference it made, but it could be some sort of pocket strat here from the Future Ancients. I'm not too sure.
Yeah. I can definitely see it working.
But I mean, this is just a sort of a bit of a farmer game at the moment. It's just really nice that the Future Ancients aren't overextending or anything, because if they do, then it could even be game over with a pick-off.
And we are actually getting insanely close to this lifestealer having an Abyssal Blade, like the full Abyssal Blade. He's 400 gold off finishing it. And at that point, I mean, Future Ancients, they step one step out of place, and this Nyax is just gonna kill whoever he wants.
Yeah. But is this where they just wait for Roshan? Do they really need Roshan? Or once they get the Abyssal Blade, do you think they could probably push high ground with it? Because they potentially could, but again, they do have the Venge swap to worry about.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't think they need the Aegis, but I don't see any reason why they wouldn't wait for it and get it just in case. I mean, you put that Aegis on a Nyax and he just walks forward by himself, the Tinker marches the other lanes, the Slardar sits back, the Witch Doctor sits back, the Phoenix sits back, and the way they kill the Nyax is with the Disruptor ulti. So they use the Disruptor ulti, he respawns from the Aegis, and then they can't stop him getting a rage off.
I mean, in terms of which team scales better and which sort of team benefits from this late game, it's kind of hard to say. I mean, Disruptor, if he gets an Aghanim Scepter, it's fairly game-changing. But it's kind of hard to tell because Lifesteal eventually does fall off, but you've got the Windrunner to worry about. Tinker, sort of, I mean, does he really fall off that much? I mean, in terms of who's gaining this, if this wasn't a Roshan going the way of Danger Zone, it could even work in the favour of the Future Ancients, potentially.
Yes, I mean, I would say it's slightly towards Danger Zone, but in these late sort of games, the DPS from a Windrunner and the DPS from an Ursa is insane. So it's the sort of thing, I would say Danger Zone's lineup is stronger the later you go. However, it could definitely go either way if this gets to 55-60 minutes.
But and it is sort of looking like this Aegis the Immortal now on the Lifestealer. I'm pretty sure the Lifestealer got... No, he didn't.
Oh no, so they actually gave it to Slardar, yeah. So I kind of don't agree with that, just as, like, I mean, as I said, the way they kill the Nax is with the Disruptor ulti, and he can just hit the tower while he's got it. But, I mean, it's alright. He's kept his 6 items. Maybe they're going to siege with the Slardar a little bit more and just spread out the damage just slightly slower.
Oh, that was a good attempt by Disruptor there, but I mean, if he had committed the Static Storm to that, that could have been a completely different story. Oh, this is a nice play from Lifesteal. He has all the lockdown available. Windrunner just gets the Windrunner off in time. He's going very deep here and actually gets a hit off onto that Windrunner. Windrunner's not going to save you there, and it looks like Timbersaw is in a lot of trouble as well, but no, there's Ursa rotating in. Really nice play from him, but he's taking a lot of damage. He actually goes down as well. Witch Doctor Death Ward nicely placed between the towers here. This is a Phoenix Egg, though, that isn't going to be able to get taken down, I don't think. Do they have anything? They don't. And they want to dive the fountain here by the looks of it. But Tinker, very risky play there.
I mean, Danger Zone here, diving the fountain. I mean, it's great and all, they're able to, but Only now have they actually gone to hitting the buildings. They have given a small
Dire's
amount of
middle
time to the
tower
future
is under
ancients,
attack.
but this is probably going to be game over. You're going to see mid-racks go down and at least the tower at bottom. And I mean, if this Windrunner and Timber come out to contest it without help from their other team, then Axe is going to jump on them just like he's done.
Look
He's
at
a
the
missile
damage.
down the Timber. The Hexes come out and Hex up on Tinker. They're not going to be able to defend this anymore.
Oh, I mean, that's a good swap, but it's only going to be Aegis here, so they want to look to do something with it, but I don't think they can really take down too much here. Witch Doctor going for the stun and the maladies here. The BKB on Slider, they're being revealed, and it's going to probably, I'm assuming it's a 10-second one. Tinker doing just Tinker things there, and that's going to be a GG call here from the Future Ancients. And I mean, good effort to both teams, but again, Danger Zone just potentially just building those items really well. I think the item build certainly made a difference this game. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, that Tinker pick must have made the Future Ancients' life really hard there. I liked the draft. I thought they were both really even, but at the end of that first one, I did definitely want to give it to that Tinker there.
yeah, I mean, in terms of an MVP this game, it's kind of hard to say, but Tinker did a lot of space creation this game.
And I mean, if it's not the Tinker, you've got to give it to that Witch Doctor.
Yes.
I know from a support's perspective, getting all those rotations to work is insanely hard. It's like getting a couple of kills on the offlaner at the start is generally pretty easy, but he managed to kill mid, he managed to kill offlane, he had a couple of nice TP support rotations, and I would definitely give it to him.
Especially with that network he's got. Look at those items he has. He has a Solar Crest, a Glimmer Cape, a Blink, and a 4-star. This is, you know, you don't always get a Blink. It's just a little bit of a luxury item at sort of this stage of the game. But anyway, guys, that is game 1 of Danger Zone and the Future Ancients down. Thank you very much, Explosive Fury, for joining me here. Not sure if he will be back next game, but potentially will be. We'll speak.